Welcome back, I'm Captain Xavier, and I've gotten terribly behind on a number of reviews, so we're gonna get caught up today. What we have here are a series of blasters that were designed by GenCoMegaWerks and given to me by Xfox Games to show off to you all fine individuals. These are all blasters that are built around the X-Shot Micro. It has kind of a self-contained mechanism that can be taken out and very easily adapted into a variety of blasters, which is what we see here. These are all 3D printed shells or mechanisms that have been put around that X-Shot Micro core. You can see the priming mechanism. It's got its own little catch mechanism. It's a self-contained plunger system, which is really neat because then you can do stuff like this. So starting here on the left, we have a lever action option. Big old fancy gearbox mechanism in there, very steampunk looking, very industrial. It is single shot. You prime it. Whoa. And when you don't accidentally hit the trigger when you prime it, it stays primed. And then you simply breech load a dart right there, give it a fire, and it's surprisingly powerful for how tiny that little plunger tube is. The X-Shot Micro has always been an odd anomaly, which is what makes any of this possible. It can take half darts. It's had its post and AR removed, so you can just put a half dart in there, and it will fire that as well. Neat, fun, not the most practical, but there are places where this could be useful. Because it can take full-length darts, I could actually see somebody using this somewhere like Afterworlds, because it's very post-apocalyptic-y looking, very steampunky, very strange looking, and their ammo is a huge commodity, so the fact that it's single shot isn't as much of a problem as you'd think, and it's surprisingly powerful for what it is. So, neat one there. Up next, we have a double-barreled pistol. It has two of the X-Shot Micro systems in there, two separate hammers, two individual triggers, and again, it can take both full-length darts and half-length darts because it's had its AR, or it's had its dart posts trimmed. This one I think still has its ARs in it. And you can pull them both at once if you want, or you can pull them individually. And again, fairly functional for what it is, fairly powerful, nifty little gizmo. Neat thing to print. Up next is where it gets really cool, and it took me a while to actually figure out how these worked. I should have done a little more research rather than just tinkering with it and confusing myself. These are both double action, which is something we have seen in Nerf, but not very often. We saw it in things like the Snapfire 8 and the Voidcaster and the Nail Biter, where the act of pulling the trigger is also what is priming the blaster. And that it's a dubious concept, but it's neat when it works. And some of the ones in the past have been decent, some haven't been so great. The neat thing is that you can use them one-handed. Train. The downside, the fact that pulling the trigger is what primes it, tends to make you get a lot of barrel wobble and they're hard to aim. Unless you use both hands, in which point you've negated the fact that you can use it one-handed. But what has happened here is the reason this barrel is so long is it is a 3-round inline clip. So this has 3 half darts in that barrel, and every time you pull the trigger, it fires them. And it does it in such a way that you don't have to keep flicking the barrel down to reseat. It keeps it in line really nicely. And it's just every time you pull, it fires. And then you can top it off. You can put up to 3 darts in there. Half darts anyway, and it works. This one is in the big brother. It has a revolver cylinder. It's got 5 chambers, so 10 darts altogether because it fires one at a time and then rotates, and it's the same idea. It's being somewhat dubious. Oh no, now we've jammed. Sometimes it works really clean and other times it doesn't. I don't think I'm getting the best seal. That one right there just doesn't want to go. Come on. Fire, you wretch. There we go. Maybe I wasn't snapping it hard enough. Anyway, they're fun. Let's take them to the range, do some plinking, and maybe even come back and give you some fips. Apparently my SD card is almost full, so we need to make this quick. Let's start with full length with the lever action. Again, it's surprisingly powerful. Occasionally, you accidentally hit the trigger. Oh, alright. Let's try half darts and see if I can get some ping. Oh, just under. A little bit higher. Meow. There it is. I got a hit. What's next? We got this one. We'll start with the half dart. A hit and the full dart. Oh, dodged under it. The dodgy ones to try to get a hit with, but we'll give it a try. Oh, just over. That double action is a neat concept. And now, for the revolver, we'll see how well it plays along. Oh, there we go. A hit on the first try. Another hit. Oh! No issues. I think I wasn't actually seating the darts in enough and it was causing an issue. I actually hit the target behind the 25 with this, which is definitely impressive. So, yeah, they're fun. Dual wielding these could actually be a lot of fun. You wouldn't hit anything at all, but it would be fun. Behave yourself. All right, I'm gonna clean up this mess and then talk about them a little more. I don't have a whole lot more to say. I got a little more to say though. A little. Right. That was fun. These really are fun, nifty blasters with interesting gimmicks and neat design work. A lot of excellent engineering and design work have gone into these. And that represents that beautiful part of our hobby that can be silly and frivolous. It doesn't have to be all about performance. It can be about having fun and designing neat things. One of the cool things about these is they require very, very little, in some cases no, additional hardware other than the 3D printed parts and the X-Shot Micro. The only screws that are involved in these blasters come from the X-Shot Micro, so you don't have to have additional screws. These two do require a rubber band or a few rubber bands for the return on the trigger, but that is the only additional hardware that these have. It's all 3D printed. It's held together with pins. It's a neat design system where it's all pinned together, and yet it holds itself together really quite well. It's really very impressive. And it'll be a really fun project if you're just getting into 3D printing, or if your kids want to try out 3D printing and you want to build a simple project that you can both work, go through all the process of 3D printing and then the assembly of these without needing to find a whole bunch of different screws and bolts and nuts and springs and whatever else. So they're fun little blasters. I like them as a concept. And I will probably end up giving these away probably at the next Borst event, which is in October. I will come up with a way to make these prizes of some kind. I might keep this one, again, for Afterworld. But these ones I think I will get rid of because they're not in my colors and I think other people would probably enjoy them more. But we will see. We will see. I also do kind of like this one, so maybe I'll give these two away. So my thanks to XFox for sending these over to me, and my thanks to GenCoMegaWerks for designing stuff like this for our hobby, because it's really cool. And my thanks to you guys for watching. Amateur.